All right, so I'm going to So I'm excited to hear from each of you and what experiences you've had so far using doTERRA's essential oils or products. Would anybody like to share with us? Darlene?
Well, I've had many, but the one that sticks out most recently that was like a life changer is I've always had really bad allergies and sinuses. And I've been going to an ENT for like 2 years. And of course, it's one medicine after another. I've been allergy tested and lots of sinus infections. Anyway, I was having a really bad sinus infection and I'm calling her and I'm like, I think I need an antibiotic. And they're like, no, it's just your allergies. And so I tried that, the nasal wash that you just do up here. And I got lots of junk out. And then I was noticing in one of my books, it said put lavender, just a drop of lavender. So I put like a drop of lavender and it stung so bad. And I did it like, you can do it like 3 times a day, but every time I did it, I put lavender in it and it stung. But the next day, my sinuses were clear. Everything that was going out of my nose was clear. And my husband, who's an engineer and knows everything, was like, wow, that really worked.
I love that. And even though
Yeah.
we've had these products in our home for a long time, sometimes we forget, right, how powerful they are and what they can actually do. So yay, kudos to you. Thank you. Sharon, you have your hand raised. Do you want to share next?
Yes, ma'am. I have a peppermint story. So what I did is I took a spray bottle, a brown amber glass spray bottle, and I put a few drops of peppermint in it and some water. And then I let it get really, really cold. And then when I'm out in the community running around seeing patients, when it's so stinking hot, I get back in my car, I take that cold bottle of peppermint water and spray it just around my face and the back of my neck. Oh my gosh, it is so cooling and so refreshing. Oh, I just can't wait to get back to my car to spray my peppermint all over. It's just wonderful.
That is a great tip. So you said you take your peppermint and you put it in a bottle with water, did you say?
Yes. And then I keep it in my cooler so it's really nice and cold. And so then I spray that and it's really refreshing.
So I found at the dollar store an aluminum spray bottle that I put water and lemon in. And whenever I have company who's going to come over, I quickly spray my house. So it smells like I just cleaned it. But I'm gonna do that with peppermint too and keep it in my car. Good idea. Awesome. Okay. Somebody else have one you want to share real quick? Carla says, after learning about the flu, the FLOO, frankincense, lemon, oregano, and on guard shot for possible colds and flus, she takes it internally and it works great for her. So if you're not familiar with the flu bomb, the FLOO, that stands for frankincense, lemon, oregano, and on guard. Excellent. Good point, Carla. Thank you. All right, Sonia.
Well, of course, I have lots and lots and lots of stories. I was like, I'm going to do a presentation for an hour and a half on Sunday about the oils. So, but I've had this chronic cough for months. I mean, just months. And sometimes it's a seasonal thing. So I do the flu, so but I couldn't get it to, I couldn't get the coughing to stop. And it was worse at night. But so I just kept going to the oils. And I finally said, well, I'm going to use frankincense. And so I put frankincense in a little shot glass, put a cup, a little bit of water in it, and did what you said. I put it and gargled with it, and then I swallowed it. And within 2 days, probably the cough has stopped, and it's been going on for months. So, but you and I both know we have lots and lots and lots and lots of stories. So.
But that one powerful story is going to help somebody tonight.
Right, right. I started with oregano, but oregano is so intense. So I says, I can, it was working a little bit, but the frankincense actually worked much faster.
Awesome.
I could actually swallow it better.
Yeah. And it has so many things.
Yeah, oregano's pretty intense. So
Yeah, don't gargle with oregano if you're not used to it. It is not a good choice.
it is intense, but it can be done if you have
All
got
right.
frankincense works better.
Thank you. Carla's asking anybody if you have any suggestions for snoring, go ahead and type it in the chat, please. Pam, your hand is still up. Did you want to share something?
No, I don't know how to take it off.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'll take it down. I just want to make sure that you are heard if you wanted to be. All right, does anybody else have a really quick story to share, or I'm going to move into our topic for tonight?
I love the lemon, lavender, and peppermint for my seasonal allergies. I put a drop of each in a in a capsule and
Every day.
swallow it with some water, and it's really good. And I also love the shampoo. It's been doing a really good job at getting rid of my dandruff. I've had dandruff and flaky scalp for years and years and years, as far back as I can remember. And that really helps.
I was going to comment, your hair looks really healthy, Shoshana. I was really impressed. That's good to know you've been using the shampoo and getting good results.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I actually changed my hairdresser. My hairdresser retired last December, and using the same guy for like, I don't know, 15 years. So in a panic, I had to find a new hairdresser, and somebody referred me to this woman in Gilbert. And she is really good. She's great at the color, and she knows how to take care of the hair, and the hairstyle's a little bit different. And it's really good all around for me.
Awesome,
So,
awesome. Well,
yeah.
we are excited to hear more stories next week. If you guys are able to join us, I think this is powerful, right? To be able to hear how other people are using the products and getting good results. So if you have any other comments, go ahead and put them in the chat if you don't mind. We want to make sure we're keeping on our time schedule because I want to honor each of you in your time. So welcome Anita. She is joined us, and we want to move into our class number 1. So let me put this into
You're using, okay.
presentation mode. Let's go, slideshow.
There you go.
Play front, let's start. All right, can you guys see that okay? Thumbs
Yes.
up. Excellent. All right, so we this week we want to really focus on our gut health, and excited that you've joined us. Let's see if there we go. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pencil, because writing these things down that you're hearing, the stories, the tips, the things are going to be very helpful for you and your future. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out to the person who invited you. If you have anything else you'd like to share, you can email me at lifeisessential@gmail.com. My name is Holly. I've been working with doTERRA for a little over 12 years. I've had lots and lots of great experiences and learning experiences of what not to do sometimes as well. But becoming a certified health coach was really helpful for me in my own health journey. And I got started because I was in need of a mental and emotional and physical shift. So I was grateful that doTERRA came along into my life. One of the things that has been super important recently for a lot of people is how their liver is affecting them. But let's talk about, this is the name of our class, is Happy Liver, Happy Life. But let's talk about the ladder of wellness. This is what we call our foundation of wellness. This is our ladder of wellness. And if you notice these first 4 steps, we consider a lifestyle. And the last 2 steps we consider true health care. In today's industry of the $1 trillion that are being spent in our healthcare system, How much of it is really focused on health?
None of it.
Minuscule, if any, right?
Yeah.
It's really sick care, and our poor doctors love them. They are not trained about lifestyle and wellness. And so it's up to us to understand how our bodies work and how that's going to affect us. So our first step, and we all know this, what we eat is so important. We're going to talk about nutrition and digestion for these next 8 to 10 weeks. These are really, really foundational. Once we have a really solid understanding of how digestion and nutrition works, it will give us the energy we need for movement and metabolism. And this will also be a discussion we have. When we move, it creates a cycle that our body naturally is then able to rest and manage stress effectively. We're never going to have stressless lives. Would you agree?
Agree.
There will always be stress in our lives. There will always be conflict in our lives. So we need to learn how to manage them. And so we can talk about that in detail. One of the ways that is really critical to our lifestyle is to understand what's going in and around us. And then we're going to talk about how to reduce our toxicity on class number 8 specifically, but we'll talk a little bit along the way. And then ultimately, and here's where most people get started, is they have an issue, right? Some of us have an issue. Maybe it's just a sinus infection like Darlene, or we're having a hard time sleeping, or we're having some pain in our knees, or whatever the case may be. We usually come seeking for a solution, right? And so this becomes our informed self-care. Who is ultimately responsible for your health?
You.
Each one of us, right? It is our responsibility. And we look for professionals and we look for others to help us decide what that would look like and what our options are. And the beauty of what this company does, doTERRA, is they want to educate us how to make the best choices to create a self-care program. So I'm glad you're here. We're going to be diving deeply into that as we go for these next couple of months. And then last and if not least, we want to be proactive. Why wait until you're in pain? Many of us are motivated by pain, but why not put together a daily care program that can actually mitigate or eliminate the pain and suffering and time loss that comes with these types of issues, right? So we want to talk about proactive medical care and trying to avoid having to deal with these issues. All right, so one of the most important things that we can do for our bodies is to regularly, systematically clean it. Now, I guarantee that all of you are focused on cleaning on the outside, right? You brush your teeth, you wash your face, you shampoo your hair. Some people take a shower every single day, if not 2 or 3 times a day. So there are lots of ways that we clean it, but how often do we focus on cleaning the inside of our bodies? And the picture here denotes that lots of different systems have to be cleaned on a regular basis. So what is this depicting? A cleansing of?
Filter.
The air.
Your air, right? So you're filtering, your house has to have new filters, your car needs to have a variety of new filters. Every machinery that I know that has a combustion has to have a filtering system. Your water has a filtering system, right? So we know that filtering and cleansing is a critical part of our process and our daily process. So let's figure out what is the cleaning process of our bodies. Well, first we're going to go to why. What are some of the symptoms that we might have or recognize that say, oops, I didn't do a very good job of cleaning this week, or this month, or this year, actually, right? So if you know of anybody dealing with some of these symptoms and these labels, you might want to suggest to them, hey, have you ever considered cleansing the inside of your body? And then they're going to ask, well, what does that look like, right? And you're going to be able to share with them some of these same tools and experiences. So just take a quick note of some of these things. One of the things that I'm going to point out right now that we're going to talk about is poor energy and insulin resistance. And this is something that I know my dear mother-in-law is on with us tonight, and she and I have been texting back and forth. She's shared some things with me of, even though we try to eat healthy, there's still shifts that we need to make, right? And we're trying to always be better about taking care of ourselves. So let's talk about the liver. Now, everybody knows that the liver is found under the rib cage on your right side of your body. It is the largest organ of your body, and it has the most critical responsibilities of your cleansing system called the endocrine system. And so this is your primary organ of cleansing and rebuilding and restoring the body systems. Oh, and I already told you, I was going to say, what body system is the liver part of?
Endocrine.
Very good. Somebody's listening. It's part of your endocrine system. Can anybody else name another body system?
Digestion.
Good.
Respiratory.
Good.
Cardiovascular.
Good.
Well, skin and oh my gosh, don't ask me to pronounce it because I can't remember how. Integumentary, I think.
Yes, I think that's how.
Darlene, help.
So we know that there's several body systems that have to function together or work together in order to help our bodies be at its peak performance, right? One of the part of the endocrine system besides the liver are the kidneys. And the kidneys are very important for reducing the toxicity of our blood, same as the liver. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But on top of the kidneys is this little gland called the adrenal gland. Does anybody know the difference between a gland and an organ?
No.
Come on, nurses.
A gland secretes a
Very
hormone.
good. Very good. So most things in our body are considered organs, but if it has a excretion function, it excretes hormones, it excretes fluids, it will be considered a gland. And so when we have adrenal glands, this is where you're going to find a lot of your excretions of cortisol hormones. That's your main one. What else comes from the adrenals? Anyway, that's where we think of our energy boost is from our adrenals, right? Adrenaline. So we want to understand what our body systems are doing, and this is part of that. Our third part of this endocrine system we're going to talk about tonight is our bowels. And this is critical because there are so many people who are dealing with dysfunction of the bowel system. They might call it IBS. They might have colon cancer. They might have diverticulitis. They might have Crohn's disease, right? So there are a lot of inflammatory and issues that are going on in the bowels, which are part of our cleansing system. Why is that? We want to talk about that. And last, our skin. Our skin is the outward appearance of what's going on inside. And so understanding why we have dandruff or why we have a rash or why we have acne, This all is going to help us understand what's going on the inside and why cleansing is so important for us, okay? So our skin, let's start there, has two methods of elimination. We have sweat glands and we have oil ducts. Our sweat glands can eliminate water-soluble toxins. It might help by creating a fever. Our body creates this fever and wants us to sweat out a lot of those viral, bacterial reactions that the immune system is having to deal with. So is a fever bad? Do you always want to suppress a fever?
No.
No, you actually want to manage a fever and allow the body to make its own reaction. If it gets too high, of course, we can use peppermint to lower it, right? Put peppermint on the back of your neck, under your arms, bottom of your feet, but don't. There are times, and I'm not going to say never because I'm not a doctor, but you don't want to stop the fever, because the fever is the natural way for the body to excrete the toxins through the skin. Okay, it heats it up and tries to kill the viruses and bacteria. And it also reduces the load from the kidneys. So sweating is actually a really good thing. So if you're going to get outside, here in Arizona, it's really easy to get sweat, right? But if you're going to get out and walk, set yourself a goal to walk at least until you sweat. Okay, because that's a really important part of our cleansing. Our second part of the skin are oil ducts. These are used to eliminate fat-soluble toxins. And this is where you're going to start to see reactions in your skin, such as a rash or itching. So what do you do when you have a skin issue? What are some of the things that you guys have used in the past?
Lavender.
Lavender,
Tea tree.
tea tree,
Frankincense.
frankincense.
Since
Okay,
they're
there's
now-
a whole bunch of there are a whole bunch of plants that can help minimize the symptoms of the skin or skin issues. So you'll want to take a note, research essential oils for the skin, so that if you do have some sort of elimination going on, you can soothe that while you're figuring out why the inside of your body is eliminating through the skin. Because the last resort, and let's go back, the first portion of cleansing is going to start where?
In the liver.
In the liver. And then it's going to filter through the
Kidney.
kidneys if it's liquid. If it's not, it's going to filter through the
Bowels.
bowels. And last but not least, it excretes through the skin. So if you're having a rash or a skin issue, that tells us there is something clogged inside your filtering system. Is this making sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are typing in the chat, I'm going to ask each of you to help monitor questions or comments in the chat for me, okay? Since I can't see it for now. And since we're a small group tonight, you guys can just shout out. If you have a question or a comment, I am totally good with it. You don't have to wait till the end. This is an interactive portion right here. So once again, when we are processing toxin elimination through our filtering system, it is going to go through the liver and then into either the kidneys or the colon. And if it ends up into the skin, then we want to hope that it's just water, right? That it's just sweat and it's not have to deal with a lot of heavy dose toxins that create some kind of skin reaction, because those are never comfortable or fun or beautiful, right? I have a son who deals with rosacea all the time. He has skin red blotches, and I'm like, dude, I can help you with that. Could you just give me time? But you know, you're never a prophet in in your own land. Y'all think you're crazy. So
That's true.
hopefully we'll get there. All right. So we have two philosophies of cleansing. We can do a daily cleanse, or we can do an isolated or a more aggressive cleanse. Now, when some people hear the word cleansing or detoxing, what kind of emotional response do you get?
Scary, because everybody thinks you're going to spend lots of time in the bathroom.
They kind of like, ooh, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I can handle that. Do you think I'm going to have to drink like these fancy protein drinks, or I'm going to have to take all this crazy stuff? And as Sharon said, it can be considered quite aggressive and stressful, right? And if it is done too quickly, have you guys heard of the Hexheimer reaction?
No.
This is a reaction where the body says, oh no, you're cleansing too fast.
Mm.
And that's when it starts to push it through the skin instead of going through the proper elimination channels through the kidneys and the colon. So we want to, in doTERRA, we want to teach people how to do a daily, ongoing, quarterly cleanse, okay? But not something that is dramatic and makes it very uncomfortable. We want it to be gentle. We want it to work with the body systems, not interrupt the body systems. Does this make sense?
Mhm.
Is that a little bit more acceptable?
Sure.
All right, so in our daily approach, one of the first things we have to do is we have to recognize what is going on around us and in us, okay? But we usually start with our symptoms, as we already talked about. I have a lot of digestive upset. I'm very fatigued. I might have insulin resistance, which means my blood sugars are out of balance and I'm fidgety. There's a lot of different symptoms that we saw on that other list that can create us a motivation to do that. But I want us to start with first evaluating what's going on around us and in us, because if we don't eliminate some of that, your cleansing is going to have to happen more often, right? So if we're trying to keep toxins out of our body, we first want to recognize, okay, maybe I should slow down on what I am putting into my body. So did you know that there's over 70,000 chemicals being used in our country? The Environmental Protection Agency considers over 65,000 of them to be potentially, if not definitely, hazardous to your health. Do we have a lot of cautions on our products?
Yep.
Hazards on our products? Side effects on our products?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot, right? So we need to start reading those labels and recognizing what it is that we're having to deal with, or what we're not willing to deal with, right? And then we'll find and we'll give you ideas of ways to substitute those, to replace those, so you can minimize the toxins going back into you. So then, to reduce your toxic load, when we are selecting food, hopefully we're focusing, and this isn't our topic tonight, but hopefully we're focusing on good, healthy, whole foods. And I like to call this being a nutritarian. A nutritarian does not follow an extreme diet. A nutritarian doesn't say, well, I'm just going to be nothing but, and I'm not even going to go there because I don't want to offend anybody. You need to do what's best for you. If you eat one way or the other, that's your choice. But I'm just going to suggest that you try and eat as close to nature as possible, right? You've heard shop the outside of the walls instead of the shelves. And organic is not that more expensive, because what are you going to pay for? You're paying for the future health when you're buying organic. So spend an extra $1, $5, $10, and try and buy as much organic as possible, because you're paying for your future health by eliminating the toxins that are coming into your body. Okay, enough about that topic. Let's also consider the cleansing products, the personal care products that we're using in our home. If it is not safe to be around an animal, it's not safe to be around you. So just think about what it is that we're doing to our homes, okay? There's lots of other ways that you can clean a home, and we'll talk about those at the end of the series, class 8. The next thing I want you to think about are what synthetics do you have coming into your home and your body? Now, unfortunately, I didn't learn this lesson fast enough, and I'm grateful that I have a prescription that allows me to keep my thyroid functioning. If I would have known 30 years ago that following my doctor's orders was going to actually destroy one of the glands in my body by taking a synthetic hormone or synthetic thyroid medicine, I would have rethought that, but I didn't know. So now I'm trying to minimize how much I'm having to use, find other alternatives, things like that. But we're an integrative system, and I recognize that there's going to be times that you just need to use those things. So this is a minimizing, reducing, not always eliminating. Just awareness is the first step, right? So don't yell at me if you're like, but I have to take. I agree. I agree. There are times that you still have to use these things because of the situations we're in until we find other solutions. And then, of course, self-care products. I absolutely love doTERRA's hair care products. I've never been able to grow my hair very long, and I recently just cut off about 12 inches of my hair because it just kept growing and growing and growing because the way I've been able to take care of it with the doTERRA products. So enough of that. Let's move into our creating good daily habits. So the first thing that we can do, and I didn't get this slide all the way put together, so I'm going to just go back and you guys can recognize that I'm not perfect. So the first thing that we can do is when we're wanting to create a good daily habit is to make a daily cue. This means make it obvious. Set it out on the cupboard. Set an alarm on your phone. Do something that reminds you that you're going to start a new process. Okay. Your next step is to have a process and to make it easy. So if you have to go digging through your cupboard for your lemon oil to put it in your water, you're probably not going to do it on a regular basis, right?
Nope.
So if you make it obvious by setting it next to your water bottle or next to your water filter, whatever it is, it's a recognizable, obvious cue. Then it makes it easy to just drop a drop of your lemon or other citrus oils into your water. And right there, you're already starting a daily habit. The next step is to recognize, have a positive expectation that, hey, I'm going to start paying attention to how cleansing makes me feel. It might not be an overnight thing. It could be a period of time, right? But I know that the science is there and I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to put my lemon bottle right back where I got it because I'm going to repeat that exact thing to create this loop of habit. So whatever it is that you're trying to create a habit of, make sure that you're making it obvious, easy, and rewarding. Okay? Obvious, easy, and rewarding. And then you're going to be able to create this good habit. So some of those habits are going to be a way to flush those toxins, and it's drinking your water. How many of you are really good about drinking your body weight in ounces of water, or at least half of your body weight in ounces of water?
Yes,
Good. Hopefully all of you are doing that because most of you have been with me for a long time. So an extreme cleanse would be 100% of your weight, but we really want to go somewhere between a half to 3/4 because we want to be able to free the pee is what they call it. And some of the ways that you can make that water rewarding is to add flavor to it. And I have to tell you that this has made a big difference for me. So I put right next to my water dispenser, I have some of my favorite oils that I put in my water. I use ginger and grapefruit, or ginger and lime. Very delicious together. I might use lime and lemon together to switch it up. I sometimes use fennel if you like the taste of black licorice.
I do.
I even sometimes use, and this is going to be a taboo discussion, but I even sometimes use wintergreen. Now, why do I say that's taboo?
Well, it's put in ingested.
Because it's not recommended for internal use, right? That's why it has a child safety cap on it.
Yep.
And the reason is that wintergreen is the plant that they mimicked aspirin from. So if you overconsume wintergreen, pure wintergreen, it can actually thin your blood. So if you have any issues with that, please don't say I told you to. Don't do that, okay? But I want you to recognize that there are a lot of different ways that you can reward yourself by flavoring your water and doing a cleanse as you go. So if you are like me and you're like, I am so sick of drinking lemon in my water, you can switch it up to grapefruit or orange or tangerine or bergamot or Slim and Sassy. Actually, by the way, Slim and Sassy is going out of the market. And
Really?
we're gonna learn about that later.
Oh,
It's
no.
gonna be replaced with some really cool stuff.
Okay.
Okay, the next way to cleanse, so citrus oils in your water, daily habit, right?
Yep.
Next daily habit are enzymes. I cannot overstate how critical the enzyme function is to your cleansing system. This is the natural way that your body breaks down whatever you put into it. It's going to have to go through that filtering system into a level of chemistry your body can actually absorb or eliminate. So if you do not have a good digestive enzyme function, your gallbladder, your pancreas, your liver, you're struggling. You're giving your body way too much work to do. So I like to take a digestive enzyme as a supplement every morning and every night. Sometimes I'll take some during the day if I'm feeling gassy. I ate something I shouldn't have. Okay, but enzymes are the catalyst to all of this digestive process. And that is what starts your immunity and your regenerative processes as well. So there are natural ways to get enzymes, but there's also endogenous ways that you can't get. So you have to have a healthy endocrine system so that it can process and create those endogenous enzymes. But if you're eating healthy, fresh foods like fresh pineapple, fresh papaya, fresh apples, all of these good, healthy enzymes can also be taken as a supplement or as whole food. So get as close to nutritarian as you can. But I would recommend taking a Terrazyme every morning and every night with your 8 ounces of water, lemon water, whatever, because it will go directly to the blood system and through the liver and help pack munch or destroy those estrogens that are mimicking. And that's, if you don't know, that there are a lot of people who have issues from estrogen, not because they have good healthy estrogen, but because they've consumed too many mimicking estrogens. And estrogens, if you want to go study it, can come from your plastics that you're storing your food in, or you're microwaving in, or that you're cooking with. There's a lot of mimicking estrogens that are telling our bodies we have too much estrogen, when in reality, we don't. We have an overabundance of toxins that our cells are reading as estrogen. So go do a little bit more study, and enzymes can help. Lemon oil can help clean those receptor sites off. Does that sound cool?
Yes.
Cool for me. All right. So enzymes are our step number 2 for cleansing our filtering system. This system right here, called the Zendocrine system, is the power powerful blend of phytonutrients or plants and essential oils. So together, this Zendocrine complex, along with the Zendocrine soft gel, and I put the prices here so you know exactly, because I don't want anybody to be surprised. You can do a lot of really great things. Oops, I don't think this is the right one.
No.
Maybe it is. I think it's a different. It might be Terrazyme. No, this is Zendocrine. Sorry, Terrazyme is the one that costs a little bit more. Okay, so Zendocrine system is it's like about $50. It's what we call the liver cleanse. So if you hear me talk about the doTERRA liver cleanse, this is it, the Zendocrine system. And it has a variety of plants in it that's going to help that endocrine system. Zendocrine is just the label of the plants that are going to help clean your endocrine system. So here are some of them that you can and you can find them right on the labels of the plants that are included to help with that cleansing process. So if you've ever done a study of other cleanses and people are like, well, you need to take milk thistle, or you need to take garlic, or you need to take rhubarb. There's a variety of things that can be very helpful. And doTERRA is so good about creating quality products that they've done the research for us and they've put it together in this system that is very effective. Any questions about that? I'm going to have you guys share with me if you've had any experiences with these products right here.
I have it, but I don't really, didn't understand really why I was using it or needed to use it. So
Yeah, you do.
I have the oil, I don't have the capsules. So I will work with that.
Okay, awesome. I know that when I use this, so the first time I ever used this was with a friend years ago whose daughter has serious acne going on. And I said, what I've learned is that the skin is a reflection of what's going on in the liver and what's going on in the endocrine system. Let's try this liver cleanse, this Zendocrine system, and see how it works. Do you know that her skin cleared up 90% of the way and she didn't have to get onto Accutane, which is a very dangerous drug, because she was able to use this? Now, she also then, to get the rest of it clean, she had to change her diet, right?
Yeah.
But this was very, very effective for her. And so I know from then, I've used it myself several times. I've had a lot of people have used it for emotional cleansing, because your emotions also come from your liver. So I want you to think outside of the box. What do I need to eliminate from my system so that I can feel healthy, think healthy, smell healthy, be healthy?
What's the difference between the oil and the capsule?
So the complex here are these plants right here, which are not essential oil plants.
Okay.
You don't get essential oils from milk thistle or psyllium husk. Okay, those are kinds of plants that have high fiber, have a lot of other chemistry that we don't get from the essential oil complex.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, so they're different. The
They're
oil
very
is
different.
different purpose than the capsules.
Yes, so that's why they're taken together.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Okay, so once again, I recommend having one of each every breakfast and dinner.
Yeah, this should be the oil though.
This is the soft gel is the oil. If you have the oil and you make your own soft gel, you can do that too.
Oh, okay.
If you have Zendocrine in the 15 milliliter bottle,
Yeah.
put 4 or 5 drops in a soft gel, and you can take that as well.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, so that's the liver cleanse. Now, on a quarterly basis, when I'm struggling with sugar cravings, blood imbalances, I know that I need to do a more thorough cleanse. Now, the Zendocrine is fabulous. This is more parasitic, more viral, more fungal cleansing. And this is the GX cleanse. And then this restore with the probiotics. Okay. Now, probiotics are great on a daily basis, but I'm specifically talking about cleansing and having a happy liver, so a happy life. So we're talking about it here as a system. The GX has oregano, thyme, rosemary, a lot of the essential oils. It's a soft gel. A lot of the essential oils that are very antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. So when in the last 2 years do you think it would have been a good idea to take these?
Oh, a couple of years, 2019 through. And still.
Right? And because I'm going to promise you that we have not, this wasn't the first virus, and it will not be the last virus that you're going to hear or experience. So I'm glad that you're here. This is why I'm motivated to get back into the swing of things and help people recognize you do not have to live in fear. This can help you.
Oh.
Okay, let's be proactive and let's work with our bodies. All right, some of the other last little tips in the next few minutes is sleep. Sleep is critical for your body's function to digest and eliminate.
Yep.
Okay, there's two things I'm going to talk about that are functional that are going to help you. One of them is sleep. You need to get at least 7 to 10 hours of good restful sleep so that your body can heal and your immune can be proactive. Here are some things that help me. I like Balance. It's a blend of oils, and vetiver on my big toe. I put Balance behind my ears and I put vetiver on my big toe. Why? Because it is a sticky oil and I really don't want it in my hair.
Right.
And the big toe is a reflex point for your brain. So I rub it on my big toe and it works really, really well.
The Balance or the vetiver?
The vetiver on my big toe. It's
Okay.
a sticky because it comes from a root. That's why I stick it on my big toe. And then the Balance is really pretty. I just put it on the back of my neck and in my ears and makes me calm. My husband likes lavender. Not my favorite smell. Works for some people. If you like lavender with vanilla, Serenity is your blend. Okay. So diffuse it, rub it, whatever you need to, but you can use them on a nightly basis to help you get some better rest. And the second function is what?
Move.
You have to get out and move, right? You've got to walk, 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 walk. That's why some of these other countries are much healthier than we are, because we've gotten so lazy, we drive everywhere. So we've got to get out and move. That is what moves our lymphatic system. Our lymph system does not have its own pump like your circulatory system. Your lymph system requires your muscles to move in order to carry away the toxins, to help the digestive process and the cleansing process. So it increases circulation. It helps releasing through that sweat. So if each of you would make yourself a new habit, you might set out your running shoes next to your bed tonight, or your walking shoes. And when you get up in the morning and you step on them, you're going to be, oh, I made it obvious. I made it easy. I'm going to put my shoes on and I'm just going to walk for 10 minutes out in the heat and I'm going to sweat and then I can call it good.
Yeah.
Is that easy enough?
Yeah.
All right.
I have my husband wake me up so I can do my walk.
Awesome.
Is it really 5 o'clock? Oh,
Oh, you're really good. I don't get up till 7.
oh yeah, 5:30.
All right. When you start doing that, your body's going to give you some hormones that you like. What are those hormones? And we'll talk about this in another class when we talk about happiness hormones. Endorphins. Endorphins is that reward, that internal reward that you did something that your body's happy with. Okay. Now, sometimes you can trick your body into giving you endorphins through bad habits, but we're going to talk about those another time. But we want to give our body a reward of happy endorphins by giving it some movement. Okay. Last but not least, this is my magic. This is my candy. If I do not take, and we'll talk more about this in depth another time, if I don't take the lifelong vitality system, I feel it, because this is where I get all my vitamins and minerals. I get my omegas that are anti-inflammatory, and I get my blend of energy. So this is what gives me my daily boost and my body to function. But sometimes if you're doing a cleanse and you're like, whoa, I don't like what's happening, then just simply slow down. Skip a day of the Zendicrine, skip a day of the GX, pull back a little bit and just give your body more water, give it rest, and then step in again. So each one of us are going to be very different. This is why it's so important to work with your wellness coach. Okay, Wendy, Sonia, Sharon, these people are ready to help coach you through these systems so that you don't have to deal with a Herxheimer result. All right, so I know that that was a lot of information, but I firmly believe that we have the solutions, that we can be healthy together. So thank you, ladies, for being here. Any questions or comments before I let you go?
Just about the LLV process. My husband and I have been using that product for the whole 12 years that I've been with doTERRA. And people ask, well, how do you stay so healthy? I said, well, we do it deliberately through these supplements. And they're just like, really? I mean, they just don't believe that that's possible. I mean, I'm way older than most of you, but people just don't believe you can stay healthy if you choose to do that. So we're just.
I love that. And because you are focusing on giving your body a good balance of nutrients that it needs, I'm going to guess that you don't have to take a lot of prescriptions that other people are taking at your age.
I don't take any.
And that's the secret.
Yeah, that is.
Right.
The doctor, I go to the doctor and he goes, why are you here again? Because they say I have to come to you. So, but, I do. We really, really, really believe that that's really why we have stayed healthier longer.
Live and feel younger longer, right? That's the philosophy.
Absolutely.
All right, you girls are awesome. Any other comments or questions?
No.
Oh yeah, I just got my first pack of LLV today.
Oh, good.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I put in my LRP order on the 1st because I was just like, I wanted to just get started on it so bad.
Perfect.
So here we go.
There you go.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for joining me tonight. If you have any friends that you'd like to join us next Monday, 7 o'clock, we're going to talk about the 3 wonderful things about essential oils. And then we're going to be talking about why plants are the best medicine. We're going to dive into some science and to help each of us understand why all these things work. So I hope to see you then.
Thank you, Holly.
Thanks,
Bye. Thank
See
you so much.
you next
Bye.
week.